When it comes to anime, I've always been on a completely higher level than the rest. A level you would never be able to reach, even if you dedicated your entire life to doing so. See, I'm the king of anime, and no one other than me will ever sit on this throne. I'm not like you casual frauds, you fake anime fans with bad taste. I have amazing taste, and I'm a real anime fan. With that being said, it's time for me to spit facts once again. Time for me to deliver the greatness once again. In this video, I'm going to be going over the most overrated garbage anime series. These are the anime that a lot of people like and think are good, but they really are not even close to being good. If you like any of the series on this list, you're a moron with bad taste and cannot be taken seriously. This list is 100% fact. This is not an opinion. This is an objective list. So all you idiots like, oh, but come on, Yang, come on, Yang. I mean, like, come on. It's just your opinion, man. Cut it out. Stop it. But anyway, let's get to this, man. So the first anime we're going to kick this list off with is Code Geass. Now, Code Geass is nothing but overrated garbage. I know at the sight of this anime, people are probably thinking, what? Code Geass is one of the best, man. Oh, this is such an amazing series. No, cut it out. This anime is complete garbage. Absolute garbage. When it comes to just overrated garbage anime, you cannot leave Code Geass off of that list. This is just trash at its finest. Typical school setting, yet tries to be deep and complex, yet fails in every way. You know, boring mechs. You know, the mechs suck. The storyline is just so convoluted. So many plot holes. So many plot conveniences. It's just crazy how many people think this anime is good. And it just proves once again how many people with bad taste are out there. Bad writing, bad characters, ugly stick figure character designs where the characters just look like overly tall and weird. Like I said, too many plot conveniences and ass pulls. Terrible ending. I mean, the ending was just ridiculously stupid. This anime does everything wrong. Absolutely horrible anime. Next up is Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop is by far one of the most boring anime I've ever watched. From beginning to end, it was boring, completely sleep-inducing. I just wanted to stop watching this anime immediately. I forced myself to get through it. So boring. A total waste of time. The only reason people like this garbage, aside from having bad taste, is because of nostalgia. You know, nostalgia is a hell of a thing. It can just control people, and it's just very bad to rely strictly on nostalgia. But the story is nothing but episodic garbage. Then it gets focused on Spike's backstory out of nowhere, which is a total ass pull. It just comes out of nowhere, and it just doesn't make sense, and is all around boring and just badly written. The characters are horrible. Spike is one of the worst characters ever. I mean, I can't stand Spike. You know, Faye Valentine, a lot of people like her strictly because she dresses with damn near nothing on. Just everybody just likes her because of the way she looks. She's there for, you know, useless fan service. That's it. As a character, though, she is not a good character at all. There's nothing interesting about her. Again, she's just there to appeal to the nerds that, you know, like to see fan service or whatever. And the other characters are so irrelevant, I forgot their names. Music is boring jazz. Like, who listens to jazz? Like, honestly, just all around bad series. Like I said, Cowboy Bebop was never good. Next up is Death Note. Death Note is by far one of the most overrated garbage anime ever created. I mean, the way people suck this anime off and pretend like it's this masterpiece, it's this great series, it's just ridiculous. Like, where are the standards at? If you want a good Death Note, a better Death Note, just watch Monster. Monster is the better Death Note. Death Note is catered towards casuals. That's all it is. I mean, you got these characters that are just doing these unrealistic things that it's just like, how am I supposed to take this seriously? You see what I'm saying? No likable characters. There's no depth to the story. There's no complexity to the story. There's no character development at all. The story completely falls off even worse after the second half. I mean, how is this anime so highly regarded when the characters are bad, the story goes nowhere, the ending is terrible, the animation sucks, the art style is bad? I mean, again, just more overrated garbage by people that don't know what they're talking about. Next up is Steins Gate. This is just another boring time travel anime that does nothing new or unique, but is somehow praised to high heaven. I mean, there are way better time travel anime out there. This one is just full of plot holes, full of plot conveniences. Everything works out fine. There's no consequences. The characters lack complexity. They lack depth. They just have nothing going for them. They're full of tropes. This anime is just more overrated garbage. Generic garbage, hyped up by casuals who don't know what true quality is. Next up is Erase. Like Steins Gate, this is just another boring time travel anime. You know, main character randomly travels back in time. It's not even explained. It's not touched upon how he's able to do this. He's just able to do it. It tries to be a murder mystery at the same time. You know, a story makes no sense at all. It's super cliche, super predictable, horrible ending. The characters don't even feel like real characters. Very repetitive music and just bland animation. A complete waste of time. Next up is Yu Hakusho. I can't stand Yu Hakusho. Yu Hakusho is garbage. It's nothing but a Dragon Ball Z ripoff that fails in every single way. The characters suck. The story is just boring. Non-stop fights 24/7 to appeal to the shonen tards. Non-stop power-ups left and right because the main character is just completely OP for no reason. He has just every power-up he needs. Typical shonen garbage. Just like I said, a Dragon Ball Z ripoff, but not nearly as enjoyable or good or well written. The characters suck. You know, they're just so bad. Yusuke is a horrible character. Horrible animation, no character development. Every character by the end of the series is literally the same. They go through like just no character progression, no character development. Just a horrible series, man. It's one of those things, just like I was talking about with Cowboy Bebop, where nostalgia is a hell of a thing, where this anime is only liked because of nostalgia. You cannot watch this series now and say, oh, this is just a groundbreaking, amazing shonen. No, it's trash. Luckily, Togashi learned from his mistake and created, you know, Hunter X masterpiece. But yeah, this is horrible. I can't believe people have the nerve to say this is good, let alone better than Hunter. Because you have idiots that'll say this anime, you know, I like Yu Hakusho better than Hunter. Hunter, you're a moron. Yu Hakusho is nowhere near as good as Hunter. But yeah, nostalgia's a hell of a drug. Yu Hakusho is terrible. Next up, we have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Now, when it comes to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I'm talking about all parts that have been animated so far. So JoJo is just one of the most overrated pieces of filth I've ever come across. I hate JoJo with a passion. Every you know part is different, which is stupid in itself. To have such an incompetent writer where he's just retconning everything over and over again, so many plot holes and ass pulls. Every part is different. He doesn't know what he's doing. It started off as a shonen, then it went to a seinen. The dude is just all over the place. He has no idea what he's doing. The power system is terrible. The whole stands, that's just completely garbage. What else? The characters suck. There's not one interesting character out of all the parts I've watched. It's just been boring characters left and right. The art style sucks. I hate JoJo, and don't get me started on the fan base. JoJo has one of the worst fan bases in anime. They are just a bunch of morons that just know absolutely nothing about quality. This is just another one of those nostalgia series that people just, because it's retro and it's old school, people, you know, act like it's good, but no, JoJo is just convoluted garbage that will never be good. I cannot take a JoJo fan seriously. Next up is Rurouni Kenshin. Rurouni Kenshin is complete garbage. I hate this series. It's boring. It's just samurai for the idiots who aren't able to experience real samurai anime, because there's much better samurai series out there. And yet this is the one you choose to watch and act like it's good. Just more shonen garbage. You know, a bunch of boring, lame fights, bunch of bland comedy that's just so out of place, but yet this anime tries to take itself super seriously, but add this boring comedy into it, messes everything up. The main character Kenshin is just your typical shonen character that you've seen 100 times already. The side characters are not good. The fights are boring. The animation sucks. There's just nothing interesting about this anime. There are, like I said, way better samurai series out there that actually cater to higher level thinkers such as myself. So definitely go watch those. I'm a huge fan of samurai stuff, but this just ain't it. So yeah, Rurouni Kenshin, another garbage shonen. Next anime is The Promised Neverland. You know, for so long people were begging me to watch this anime. Like, come on, young, this is an actual good shonen. You'll enjoy this one. And as soon as I watched this anime, I realized they were wrong. They were just idiots that didn't know what they were talking about, because this is just another boring, generic shonen that only people with bad taste will enjoy. I mean, wow, did this anime suck. 12 episodes of garbage. Nothing but an Attack on Titan ripoff, you know, an orphanage full of kids that are eaten by demons, and the demons look so non-threatening, and basically humanity is on the brink of destruction due to, like, demons just controlling everything, and it's just Attack on Titan over and over again, but even worse, which is crazy because I didn't think it could get any worse than Attack on Titan. But this anime is full of the same dumb shonen tropes you see everywhere else. Way too many plot conveniences where things just happen too well for the kids and it just goes too smoothly. No memorable characters and a boring story that just doesn't amount to anything. Next up is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Now, I used to like this anime until I went back and watched it recently, and I quickly realized it's nothing but overrated garbage. This is why it's important to experience things multiple times, because a lot of you losers will watch something one time, think it's good, and then never touch it again. But I go back and experience things again to get a true feel for the series. And like I said, I hated it the second time. This story is just boring. It introduces a lot of themes, but doesn't do well. It doesn't implement them well into the story. It all boils down to a boring fetch quest and just your typical shonen anime full of tropes. I don't like any of the characters. They are all bland and receive no development. There's no progression with any of the characters. You're not going to look at a character and from the beginning and then to the end and think they've changed at all. There's just no development. The comedy is cringeworthy. The anime tries to take itself so seriously one moment and then it'll add some unnecessary comedy the next. The fights aren't enjoyable. The animation isn't anything special. Honestly, like I said, just overrated garbage. I'll never watch this anime again. Next up is Gurren Lagann. This anime is strictly overrated garbage. I mean, as soon as I finished this anime, I was like, never again. Never will I watch this garbage again. It sucks. It's just over-the-top, boring garbage. Another bad mech anime. Mech anime is so trash. The only reason people like this garbage is because of Yoko. They just want to see Yoko's tits. They just want to see a bunch of fan service from Yoko. A bunch of versions beating off to an anime character. That's it. If Yoko wasn't in this series, nobody would like this anime because the story is boring. It doesn't amount to anything. The characters suck and have no depth, personality, or development. The animation sucks. The music sucks. It's just corny garbage. Next anime is One Punch Man. Now, One Punch Man became very popular due to the fact that it catered to casuals who were not smart enough to experience thought-provoking, well-written anime series. The type of individuals that lack the mental capacity to understand anything that isn't non-stop action and fights 24/7. Just the bottom of the barrel, lowest of the low type of anime watcher. The story was boring. It was nothing but one guy goes around punching everything and winning. That's it. There was just nothing to the story. It was so bland, so boring. There was no depth to it. It wasn't entertaining. It didn't introduce any cool themes or thought-provoking content. It was just, again, the type of anime that catered to morons. Quite frankly, I was disgusted with this anime. I really was. And, the comedy was cheesy. It was so lame. Anyone that giggled or cracked a smile during this anime is an idiot. The fights were boring because you already knew who was going to win. The side characters all sucked and had absolutely no depth whatsoever. Don't get me started on the main character. Just what a terrible character. I mean, we're supposed to laugh because he makes these bland faces and he acts like he doesn't care about anything really. Like there was just nothing good about One Punch Man. Hopefully people wake up and realize that they need to watch better anime and stop hyping up garbage like this. The Rising of the Shield Hero, another boring generic transported to another world anime that only idiots with bad taste hyped up. People acted like this was supposed to be so much better, so much different than your typical isekai, but in reality ended up being the same exact garbage. Main character who is super OP, a story that tries too hard to be deep, too hard to be different, but ends up falling into the same tropes that you see in every other isekai. Side characters that are completely useless and always have to rely on the main character, be saved by the main character, villains who are bad just because they're bad, boring fights where the main character spams the same OP abilities, tons of fan service, plot armor, plot convenience. Anyone who thought this anime was good needs help immediately. It is the same typical isekai garbage that you see left and right. Horrible anime. Next up is Mob Psycho 100. Now, Mob Psycho 100 is literally just One Punch Man. That's it. This dude did the same series twice, and somehow no one called him out for this. It's the same series. One Punch Man, this guy goes around punching everything. He's super OP. Mob Psycho, this guy goes around destroying everything. He's super OP. There's no sense of danger because you know the main character is going to destroy everything. He walks around with that stupid bland look on his face. The fights suck. The characters suck. The art style sucks. The music sucks. The animation sucks. Everything that's bad about One Punch Man is also bad about this show. Mob Psycho 100 is just trash. How did this guy get away with making the same series twice? Why did nobody call him out? That's how you know you're an uncreative fraud, if you have to make the same series twice. That time I got reincarnated as a slime, another garbage isekai where the main character is transported to another world, but this time as a slime. This creature that just absorbs everything. It becomes super OP for no reason. He's basically Kirby from Nintendo, you know, just sucking up everything, you know, taking its power for his own and just using it. And it's just pathetic because it's like you're such a trash series, you have to rip off a trash video game like Kirby. Kirby's one of the worst games out there, but that's neither here nor there. But the main character is super boring. He's bland. He gets no character development. He's super OP for no reason. Wins every fight, so the fights aren't enjoyable because you know there's no threat. You know he's going to win. There's no tension, no development. The side characters are so bad they're not memorable at all. You cannot tell me that you finished this anime and remembered any of these characters' names. They were just like backdrops. They were so bad. No good characters at all. Bad animation, bad music. Everything about this anime was just poorly done. Stop with the isekai garbage already. It's bad. The only people that like isekai are morons. Next up is Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghoul is just a Parasite ripoff that fails in every way. If you want to see Tokyo Ghoul done right, just watch Parasite, because Parasite destroys Tokyo Ghoul in every category. The story in Tokyo Ghoul fails at being deep and complex, yet tries so hard. The characters are one-dimensional garbage with no depth. Main character gets no character development throughout the series at all. The fights are just bland. It's pretty much Dragon Ball Z with ghouls, where it's just a whole bunch of power-ups and random stupid stuff going on. You see what I'm saying? This anime is really just a shonen disguised as a seinen, you know, just trying to be seinen when it's really just a shonen. It appeals to the lowest of the low type of anime watchers. Tokyo Ghoul fanboys like to act like this series is good, but it's not. And the anime is not the only thing that's bad. The manga is bad too, because they'll try to say, well, the anime sucks, yeah, but the manga is good. No, the manga is trash. This is including Tokyo Ghoul, the first part, and Re. They're both garbage, manga and anime. Next anime is One Piece. Now, this is one of the mini-series on this list I've already done a video on, so definitely check that out. I went in depth and presented amazing facts. Definitely one of the best videos out there. But to sum it up, boring, repetitive story with no progression. Every arc is the same. Sail to an island, beat people up, rinse and repeat. The characters have no development at all. I mean, they have no depth. They have no development. Completely butt-ugly art style. Bad fights where there's no strategy involved, just run in there and win. You know, all the fights won in this anime are strictly because of ass pulls. Stupid powers, you know, eat a fruit and get a power, dumb. Tons of ass pulls, easily the worst shonen of all time. Next up is Demon Slayer. This is just another generic garbage shonen that does nothing new or unique, but yet has a bunch of low-level thinking losers hyping it up like it's the greatest thing ever. Pathetic. This is just an anime that only losers with bad taste will enjoy. It has an edgy story about demons that's been done millions of times. The whole storyline to where he's trying to turn his sister back is stupid, and it's just plot convenience that out of all the demons, she just happened to not turn into a demon because he told her not to. Please don't do it. Please, come on, I still love you, please. And then she just doesn't turn into a demon because of that. Just everything works out perfectly. Just typical never give up and everything works out anime. Garbage shonen. You know, bad characters with no depth of personality. Main character wins every fight with no consequences whatsoever. Has tons of OP abilities he spams left and right that are never explained. The world is dull. There's just no interesting mystery going on. There's just no quality to be found in Demon Slayer. Next up is Naruto. Another garbage anime I've made a video on. To sum it up, it's a Hunter x Hunter ripoff, convoluted plot hole infested story full of retcons and ass pulls, horrible characters. Naruto himself is one of the worst anime characters of all time. Fights that involve no strategy, just who can spam the OP ability the most. No character development, bad animation, just all around terrible. I mean, it's crazy how the creator was able to get away with just being a blatant Hunter x Hunter ripoff and was able to amass such a fan base of morons that know absolutely nothing about quality. If you're a Naruto fan, you have nothing going for yourself. Attack on Titan is up next, and this is another anime I made a video on. Edgy garbage with a bland story that relies strictly on shock value instead of good writing. A completely stupid basement reveal that made the story even worse. It just got super political and mystical all of a sudden. Just complete trash. Like, it was always garbage, but after that basement reveal, how anybody could look at that basement reveal and say, oh my gosh, this was amazing. Like, this one of the best reveals ever. No, it made the series even worse than it already was. Repetitive action, one of the worst cast of characters I've ever seen. I've never seen another anime that has this many bad characters. There's no good characters in Attack on Titan at all. I mean, this anime is simply an embarrassment. Next up is My Hero Academia, yet another anime I've made a video on. Generic cliche garbage Naruto ripoff, which is just crazy because as bad as Naruto is, that's what you want to base your series off of. Out of all the series you could have ripped off, you choose Naruto. Completely pathetic. Bad fights that are won by ass pulls and plot convenience, ugly character designs, a sleep-inducing story that will immediately cure insomnia for anybody. I mean, this just has nothing going for it. It looks like I've been seeing some things where maybe people are starting to wake up and realize how garbage this series is, because I've been seeing some people upset about what's going on currently in this series. So hopefully it gets canceled. Hopefully it has more people coming out and realizing how truly bad it is, because this is one of the worst shonen out there. Just completely generic garbage. Next up is Black Clover. I'm surprised I haven't made a video about this, but I thought it was just not even worth it, because everybody should know how bad Black Clover is by now. This is the biggest Naruto ripoff. I mean, even worse than My Hero Academia, this is more of a Naruto ripoff. How anyone could be a fan of this terrible anime is beyond me. I mean, I'm so offended that this series was even allowed to be made. It's like, why wasn't this series canceled immediately? It's so bad. The story is literally the most cliche, boring, pathetic thing I've ever seen. I want to become the Wizard King. I want to reach for the stars and achieve my dreams. Woohoo, wee-ha, whoa, ha-ha. It's just garbage. This is what I'm saying. How do people, you keep watch every shonen is the same thing that you've already seen. How do you people continue to indulge in this crap? I don't get it. There are no good characters here. The fights suck. Just tons of power-ups and ass pulls left and right. The world sucks. There's nothing interesting about Black Clover. Why is this series still going? Oh yeah, because we have a bunch of shonen fanboys that hype up anything that's shonen. Garbage. Next up is Your Name. This is one of the worst anime movies ever made. This is not opinion. This is a fact. The only reason people like this terrible anime is because of the pretty colors. All you need to be a good anime to these morons is just have pretty colors, look nice, and that means you're good. But this anime is just full of plot holes. It's just one of those boring I switch bodies type of anime, which has been done a million times already. The characters are just bland and not memorable at all. I mean, again, people only like this anime because of the pretty colors. It is terrible. The story sucks. The character sucks. The animation sucks. There's nothing good to be found here. Next up is Sword Art Online. I shouldn't have to say much about this. People should already know how bad this is. Sword Art Online is just everything that is wrong with anime, and if you're a fan of Sword Art Online, you honestly need to seek medical attention immediately because you are not well. This anime just does everything wrong. How this can even have fans is beyond me. Next up is No Game No Life. This anime caters specifically to losers with little sister complexes. I mean, this is one of the worst anime ever made. The only reason people like it is because of the pretty colors and because they're weirdos that have crushes on their little sisters. But yeah, this anime is just about two boring and bland siblings that play video games all day and get transported to another world to play games all day. It's just trash. I mean, the story has nothing going for it. The characters suck. The animation sucks. There's just nothing good about this series.